And good evening. Welcome to Heathen Talk. Um, we're running a little late tonight, and I do apologize about that. We thought we were going to be airing Cascadia Mute live. However, YouTube is being incredibly slow. I'm now at 3 hours waiting for it to process our video. So until then, looks like another little bit, not too much longer processing, and then we'll be able to bring that to you live. But apologize again. Did not mean for it to take so long to upload. I didn't realize it was going to take so long. I really didn't. Sorry. So I believe right now it's just me and Torrin's with us. So Toby and Torrin are with me. How's it going, guys?
Well,
No. Go ahead, Torrin.
I was just going to say, well, I wasn't necessarily expecting to be on the air tonight, but here I am.
Same.
Yeah.
What are we going to talk about?
You know, we can talk about anything.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where the actual video is. Anyway,
there's always beer. There's always beer.
There's always beer. We can always talk about beer. We can talk about something that is actually coming up in a couple of weeks, and for some tribes it's a big deal. For sometimes it's Wait.
What's that?
So I don't know what I just did there. All right. Yeah, I don't know. Guys, I'm a little frazzled. Midsummer. And we haven't really had a show where we've talked about holidays since Yule.
Mm-hmm.
So is this something that, because around here in my neck of the woods, Midsummer's a pretty big deal. It's a pretty big holiday. It's a gathering of the tribes holiday as it is. So what about you guys?
For us, it's one of our high holy days. We gather in fellowship and fame. It's a fun time. I'll be flying out to Baltimore for it.
Well, me, I'm not entirely sure yet. Things have been changing a lot around here recently, so we're still trying to get that sorted out right now.
Mm-hmm. So, was it ever a big part of your practice up there, or?
Sorry, you're going to start over again because I was half distracted when we started this.
Yeah. No, it was just a question. I mean, like in the past, was it a holiday that you often celebrated, or is it?
See, that's what I missed was which holidays. The answer I gave was generic for any holiday at this point.
Midsummer. We're talking about Midsummer.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I've always done something for it. Before, I always did something, house cult before my tribe got going, and then last year we did do a small feigning. There was just the two of us at the time. So this year, the same answer holds true. That as I gave it the first, is that I have no idea yet what we're going to do. We're going to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as its importance, it's not necessarily that it's important for any particular reason, but I couldn't say, well, it's important because of crops or important because of, any particular thing. I would say it's important because our summers here are ridiculously short, but we pack probably the most beautiful summer known to man into that short amount of time. We get 3 solid weeks of balmy weather and blue skies and fluffy white clouds at, a wonderful temperature, and then it's all back to normal. So, yeah, I guess it is a little bit special in that way.
Mm-hmm.
See, for us right now, it is definitely like the time. It's a big. I would even argue for us like ceremonial time, because that is traditionally when the kindreds around here have taken oaths from new members, and we all get together, usually up in the Ozarks, up at, near Eureka Springs, Arkansas, which, if you've never been there, is, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful places in the world. So I went for my honeymoon, so I might be a little biased. But it's just I don't know, it's a beginning time for us almost, because, and we have some things in the works in that regard, but I mean, it's just this time when we're all able to get together, and I'm able to see people that I may only see once a year, because, we all have lives and kids and stuff, and so it's always good to see, people who I've considered, kind of extended tribe, that I've known since I was a baby heathen. And I am, like, impressed they put up with me this long. Because I was an obnoxious baby heathen. I really was.
Aren't most?
Yeah, I mean, that is true.
I honestly can't think of more than 2 or 3 that aren't, that I've met in my life.
I haven't immediately gotten in with a good tribe. I will say that.
You do find those couple of lucky ones that are just stumble right into a good tribe right from the beginning, and that have the right outlook from the beginning. They may not know much, but they've got the right attitude. So.
Mm-hmm.
I agree, and I think that's they're very lucky, because I know, I was lucky I met Ben. I totally lucked into that I had the chance to, the first heathen I met face to face was someone who was really well grounded and smart and put together, versus, what could have happened given some of the other heathen groups around here.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, luck plays a huge part in the initial formation. I mean, it's the way our initial actions often kind of set the tone for where we go in doing things is kind of a fascination for mine. And this is getting off a tangent, but screw it. This is a grab bag episode anyway.
This is killing time until we're able to listen to Cascadian Moot, so yeah.
So the interesting thing for me has been the way that when you start something new, every single action you take sets a precedent for every other action that follows. And when you don't do well, you really set yourself up for some future failure. Like, if you don't handle a particular, if you don't find that correct conflict resolution style, or if you don't, if you basically shit the bed with your community early on, it's so hard to get out of that. I mean, it's practically impossible.
I'm going to disagree with you there, because I don't think that's a correct thing to say. It's not impossible. People I know and love and adore have completely fucked up, especially in the beginning, and gone on to be respected members of their community. I'm one of them. I mean, I'm kind of like the poster child for how to fuck everything up. And yet,
well, are we talking about individual fuck ups, or are we talking about tribes that try to form and fuck up at the beginning?
Oh, that's true. I'm talking about individual fuck ups.
Well,
yeah, I mean, honestly, if a tribe that screws a pooch real bad right at the beginning of things, they might as well just start over. In my opinion, for a lot of reasons. I mean, number one, if they're screwing the pooch that bad, there's a failure in leadership, and there's a good chance there's a failure in the mixing of the members, as it were. Mm-hmm. And if your tribe starts off that badly from the beginning, you might as well, disband, have different people come together and try again under a different name.
To be fair, it's not. I mean, it is a failure in the objective sense, I mean, these things just happen. Everybody goes through these processes, and everybody has these problems. Everyone I know have encountered these issues.
You know, it's
I
funny.
have everyone. Um, and you know what? The United States of America did too. We had the Articles of Confederation that pooped the bed, and we went back and started again. It's not something to be ashamed about. It's just something to be aware of.
No, absolutely.
I mean, let's put, something that has become like a real discussion, especially, and it's something that my particular tribe is facing, is the real fact that people don't stay in the same place for their entire lives. And if someone joins my tribe here, but in 5 years their job takes them to Seattle, what then? How do we handle that? How to agree? And it's not just, that's a lot of tribes are facing it. I think that, your tribe has to grow and evolve and change over time, and you're going to make mistakes, but there you go.
Yeah, and I mean,
don't give up. That's what I'm trying to say, guys. Don't feel like don't
absolutely
give up.
don't. I mean, you guys have over the last year and a half heard me talk a lot about my tribe, and since its beginning, which it was about a year and a half ago, and then I'd say probably for the last 5 months or so, you've heard me say almost nothing about it, and that's because there were problems, not insurmountable problems. Not even the type of problems that got anybody kicked out or ruined friendships or anything like that. Just the kind of stuff we had to look inward towards and fix before we were a public thing. And, I'd be willing to say that I'm a fairly respectable person in the heathen world. I've got a decent reputation, and, even me trying to start something, there's problems. Everybody's going to have problems.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to boast for a minute. We had 15 people at our pub moot Saturday. I'm just going to boast for a minute.
Very nice.
After months and months of maybe 1 or 2 people. And so that's really, don't give up. Sometimes, when you say stuff like that, Toby, about, I don't know. I don't want people to get discouraged, because it's easy to get discouraged when you're, it's not like you can go down to the First Church of Odin and, get your spiritual needs fulfilled.
You've got a point, and it's a fair criticism, and it's not my intent to discourage people, but rather to encourage them by, it's okay. It's what you should expect. Don't learn to shun failure so much as embrace it. And I guess that's where I'm trying to go here, is that it's gonna happen. Be ready for it.
My entire heathen career has basically been failure upon failure, because, I mean, God, the fact of the matter is, as much as we joke around, you're doing it wrong, it's true, though. I've done it wrong, so I can tell you a ton of different ways to do it wrong.
Mm-hmm. And, there's that stupid meme that says, the master has failed more times than the student has ever tried. There's a truth to that, and there's that. We've talked about it in the Theodish Belief episode. You can try to mimic these forms, but you're gonna make the same mistakes that Theodsman made and learn from. And until we get that critical mass of quality people out there teaching and moving, it's gonna be that way. Sic semper erit.
And, and that's why I'm such a big fan of, and just do it. Just get out there and do it. It's scary. It is absolutely terrifying. I wanted to give, we toasted my friend Ironbar last week, and I want to give one more props to him because he went and sat at a bar by himself for 2 hours because nobody showed up. But he did it anyway, and I have such respect for that because he did it, and that to me is one of the most heathen things because I don't know. There's just a certain level of balls that are needed to do that kind of stuff and to do it.
Well, there has to be the preparedness for failure.
Yeah. And every one of us has failed. I mean, my tribe officially right now has 2 people in it. But it's complicated. But as far as like actual, and it sucks sometimes that there's not more than the 2 of us officially, but there's enough people around that we manage, and it's growing.
And, I will say, owing to Einbar's recent experience, I've always found it really useful, if you can, if it's a possibility, that if you're going to organize a pub moot, organize it with at least one other person. That way, if worse comes to worse, you went out and had beers with your buddy.
Now, to be fair, normally that other person is me. But I was in Seattle, and we try to hold to having it like the same weekend every month for consistency's sake. So,
what were you doing in Seattle?
I don't know. Something about a Cascadia moot that YouTube is taking forever. Seriously, guys, I am now okay. It's 9:25. I've been just trying to get this to upload and process for over 3 hours.
It sounds like we're working on Microsoft time here. It's like every time it's 9 minutes left. How many minutes is that? 20 minutes left.
It's 95. It's been 95% processed for. Well, when I first started uploading, it said 53 minutes. I'm like, oh, okay, I can handle this. 53 minutes. 53 minutes.
It just occurred to me that we might actually have audience members too young to remember Microsoft time.
Oh yeah, It's okay at work. We still use a mainframe, and one of the other interns is like 19, and she'd never seen mainframe before, and that just made me feel really old. But that's what it was like when I was in college.
Mm-hmm.
So we were talking about. Conveniently we talked about pub moots, and we also conveniently somehow got onto the topic of Cascadia moot. We pointed out before to some people that for those of you that are living up in this area, that Cascadia Moot's Facebook page is going to remain open as a community page to get people locally together. So look forward to there on the next day or two, if not tonight, hopefully tomorrow, to be an announcement of a local pub moot in Seattle for Sunday the 18th of this month. That my tribe is hosting, and love to see you all there. Any of you that live local anyway. I really hope nobody goes to the trouble of taking an airplane ride to get out here for that.
And also coming up on that weekend, and if you're in Michigan, on the LP, the Lower Peninsula, but really anywhere around, there's Heathen's Midsummer Michigan Moot. It's going to be the 17th to the 19th. Information on that is on our website, and on Saturday in Columbus, there's going to be a Midsummer Ritual to Suna. Like I said, information on that on heathentalk.com. Lots of more information. I've got tons more stuff to upload, stuff coming up. We've got my favorite Midwest Winter Moot coming up in November, but I'm just going to pimp it here for a second. If you got stuff, and if you got stuff you want us to promote, seriously, go to our website, short form, fill it out, let me know, so that we can promote your stuff on air and help you build the community and actually get out and make your events more successful.
Yeah, because if you don't, we're going to get bored, and we're just going to start, like, next month talking about Cascadia Moot again for the entire year leading up to it.
Please don't do this to me.
So
please don't let them do this to me.
So speaking of stuff that we got coming up, next week we've got a new topic, or actually revisiting an older topic, but looking at it in a different light. We've got Rich Culver. Everyone should be familiar with Dr. Jennifer Culver. It's her husband. He's going to be talking with us about language. specifically how it influences worldview and the ritual liturgy. Really looking forward to having him on the air. He's a very smart guy. Go ahead.
Hey, and with that, guys, if you are listening to this after the fact, I'm sorry. If you're in the IRC or listening to us on Facebook, we're going to post up the link. I'm going to shut this down. We're going to post up the link. And please enjoy Cascadia Moot live-ish.
Awesome.
Yay!
Yay!
Thanks, everybody.